Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Anim Fatailah Ar-ravi. I'm a college student of physics major in Semarang State University. In this chance, I will explain about my paper about dynamic fluid learning videos as a media to correct student misconception. The first one is the paper abstract. This paper was aimed to explain the usage of dynamic fluid learning videos as a media to correct student misconception. The use of learning videos made the students understand which one is the right concept and the wrong concept. To achieve optimal learning objective, it is not necessary to use media as a tool in the learning process. One of the benefits of using learning video as a learning media is to achieve effectiveness in teaching and in learning process. The keywords of this paper are dynamic fluids, learning videos, and misconceptions. The first one is introduction. The world of education always develops along with the development of the world. Likewise, educational facilities and infrastructure, so that learning can be carried out optimally. Many schools are now using modern technologies to facilitate learning in schools. Technology in learning can be a media and as a learning resource for students. As a media, technology makes learning more interesting, and as a learning resource, technology provides information for students. Among the many learning technologies, one of which is video. Video is a learning technology that has sufficient advantage for the implementation of learning. With the existence of learning videos, it can help teachers in explaining the topic so as not to be monotonous and build an enthusiasm of students in learning. Before the learning process begins, each student already has the initial knowledge they get from their daily life experience or from their individual learning results. The initial knowledge is the student's initial concept, or it can be called preconception. Sometimes the initial concept that students have and believe are not in accordance with the scientific concepts. This situation is called misconception. According to Separno in 2013, misconception refers to a concept that is not in accordance with the scientific understanding or the understanding that is accepted by experts in the field. There are many studies that show that many students experience misconception, especially in physics, about dynamic fluid. Saprianti in 2010 explained that found several student misconceptions about dynamic fluids. The first conception is students assume that the greater the area of the pipe, the greater the fluid rate in horizontal pipe. And the second misconception is students assume that the discharge value was not the same for each point on the horizontal pipe, which has different areas. And the third misconception is students have concept that the pressure and velocity under the wing of an airplane must be large in order to lift the airplane. In overcoming this misconception, it is necessary to take action as an effort to improve. One of the action is by using learning videos. And then methods. The method used in this paper is data collecting. Data collecting is carried out to obtain the information needed in order to achieve the research objectives. Then the data that has been collected will be examined deeply. And then the results and discussion. Correction of student misconception on the topic of dynamic fluids can be done using learning videos. Learning videos is a media that is systematically designed by referring to the applicable curriculum, and in its development it applies learning principles so that the video allows students to interpret the lesson more easily and interestingly. Physically, learning videos is a learning resource that is packaged in the form of video. The learning videos made by me in arranging this article paper can be seen at the following link. The link can be seen in the displayed screen with the title Media Pembelajaran Miskonsepsi pada Fluida Dinamis. This learning video explains the concept of dynamic fluids. Students who watch the learning video are expected to have a concept that is in accordance with scientific concept. In this learning video, there are 3 misconceptions that are corrected. The first one is the smaller the area of the horizontal pipe, the greater the fluid rate. This concept is explained by giving example of a hose that is not closed with a finger and a hose that is partially closed with a finger. The hose that is not closed with a finger interprets a wide area, and the hose that is partially closed with a finger interprets a narrow area. The second concept is the discharge value at each point in the horizontal pipe is the same. With the same example as the first concept, the concept is explained using the continuity equation. And then the last concept is, in order for an airplane to be lifted, only the pressure below the wing of the plane must have a value that is greater than the pressure above the wing, whereas the velocity under the airplane wing must have a value that is smaller than the velocity above the airplane wing. This is the appearance of the learning videos in YouTube. And then the conclusion of this paper. The result of this paper is the correction of student misconception on dynamic fluid topics. The use of learning videos can reduce the level of misconception in students so that they are closer to scientific concepts. Video is an invention that has many functions and benefits for the world of education, because the presence of videos can help teachers present topic in class, and the so-called learning videos appear. Learning videos can attract students' attention and concentration in learning, overcome distance and time, and can be used to develop students' thoughts, imaginations, and opinions. And then learning video is one of the most appropriate and accurate learning media in conveying message and will greatly help students' understanding. With the existence of learning video, students will understand better the material presented by educators through a film that is played. The elements contained in video media such as sound, text, animation, and graphics. With the existence of learning videos, students are able to achieve abilities in the cognitive, affective, psychomotor domains and improve interpersonal skills. And then gratitude. I want to thank my supervisor or my teacher college, Dr. Budi Naini Minyarto MAPSC, who has helped me arranging this paper. Thanks also to my family and friends who have supported me both verbally and spiritually. The reference I'm using in this paper are Alfensianitasi 2016 remediasi miskonsepsi siswa pada materi fluida dinamis menggunakan multimedia interaktif di SMA Pontianak. The rest of reference you can see on the displayed screen. I think that's all for my presentation. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.